What up, YouTube? I'm Anwar, and welcome to the War Room. What's up, dog? Got my man over here. It's my man Shane. It's a special day. It's the first time on the show, and as I was telling you earlier in my last podcast, how much of a problem I am in this fantasy football, and how I want to segue into maybe giving out some advice. You know, you guys can compensate for my compensate for the services, but. One of my leagues that I was champion in happened to be this man's right here. So now you can see him. He's on camera. You can vouch, right? I was nice, 7-9.
Pulled some shit out. Took it home.
Won it. I was 7-9.
Beat C-Mac. C-Mac and Lamar.
And what was he? 13.
He was like 13-1.
13-1, right? So it doesn't matter the record, man. You just need an invite to the party, man, and you can go in there and throw it down. So yeah, my man came through. Shane, appreciate you hanging out. What's up, big dog? How you been?
Good, man.
Good to see you.
Trying to catch up on everything.
I hear you.
I slept real hard. Forgot about it coming
up. Life's been hitting everybody a little different, right?
Yep.
Been all right, though?
Yeah.
Good, man.
It's been solid.
Good. Love the shirt, by the way.
Appreciate it.
Shout out to that one. That's super dope. Yeah, man, so we got football. Didn't think it was going to happen, but it's here.
Well,
what do you think, man? You excited? How you feel?
Yeah. I didn't think there was going to be one. I'm just hyped to play. I mean, there's been a lot of moves. A lot of stuff happens this offseason. We got to catch up.
Right. Yeah, definitely got to link up. Looks like they're going to play the first two games. No fans. It's going to be weird. We'll see how that plays out. But we got fantasy in the meantime. It gives us something to look forward to. Like I said, I'm an avid fantasy football guy. It's almost probably a problem. I played in anywhere from 9 to 11 leagues a year.
Yep.
But I get it done. So, I enjoy it. This is one of my guys. I'm in his league. He's in mine. So I had to have him on because I respect his drafting strategy and the talent, and he knows the shit like I know the shit. So I definitely like to have my different friends who I respect their acumen on blessing the war room. So, let's jump right in, man. So we got fantasy football. You got a draft today.
Right after this.
What's kind of your thought process when you go into drafting and how you play fantasy?
I mean, honestly, it's just not to really have too much of a game plan going in. Just know who's in a good spot and who's in a good system, and then just kind of play them as they come to you.
Right.
Don't reach on anybody and don't do anything dumb, and you usually end up in pretty good shape.
Yeah, you're able to solid team. I agree. It's really about how you want to finesse it.
Take proven guys. Make sure you stock up on talent.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, do you like you more heavy with a certain position, or I know you said you don't.
It depends on how the draft goes.
Right.
I mean, generally I try to get 1 or 2 running backs out of my first 3 picks for sure. But at the same time, if talent's not there, and I'd rather take a tier 1 wide receiver over a tier 2 running back if that's how it ends up happening.
Absolutely.
And then just make sure you balance everything out. When it's all said and done, you might have to take a streak. If you get 2 receivers early, you might have to draft 3 running backs in a row later on, and just make sure you got somebody there.
There it is. I can't really disagree with any of that. That's kind of how I go about it too. I don't. I go in kind of like with guys I want to target, but you got to play it. You got to play it with how the board is. And so
it never works out according to
No, you get those guys that'll make that one radical move. It's always one. It's always the one guy. He's gonna reach or pick somebody, because he doesn't know what he's doing. And now certain guys are available. Now everything changes. Just like that with the one pick.
I got Christian, number 2. In another week, somebody got Saquon.
See?
Sometimes you just get what you want.
Yeah, and that just falls right in your lap, man. I can't. I love it, man. I love the strategy of this stuff because, like you said, this all depends on what's available, not overselling, not getting caught up in the hype. Because, like you said, I'd rather get a top guy right in that zone and then get something else on the back end as opposed to forcing, I need a running back, so I'm going to reach for a guy I can get later on.
Then you get stuck on a receiver if that's the case.
Yep. And that's kind of, a lot of this, I don't want to get really too heavy into the tutorial of fantasy football because I feel like for the most people that are playing that need the help, kind of know what they're doing, just probably need some fine tuning, for the most part. But yeah, that's kind of really been my thing, man. It's just kind of letting the chips fall. And a lot of times I really pick to really ride that team out. I'm not really fucking around grabbing guys just for the sake of trade value. I'm just I want my targets because I don't want to be playing that because you know how people don't know how to trade all the time. You get into a lot of the nonsense with that shit.
Yeah, it's better just to try to do it yourself.
I'm going in
Sometimes
there
you gotta.
and just trying to lock in and get my team, and hopefully I'm not scraping the barrel too early. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But in the meantime, we're gonna lock in with this. We're gonna run this draft kit off a little bit because, like I said, it's just kind of we've been looking at some guys. Everything is gonna be a little different this year. As far as I know, people have targets and guys that are obviously gonna go high. But now we're dealing with this COVID situation, and guys are going onto the field with no real preseason games, no real warm up. They're just going full tilt. So I think, unfortunately, this year we're gonna have a lot of probably injuries. I mean, injuries are always imminent in football, anyways. But just coming in full tilt like that, and then also like you were mentioning before, if guys do get sick or whatever, how does that change up with the quarantining and everything? So I don't know, man. It's
gonna be a
interesting.
weird year.
So, okay, so for the sake of, obviously, if you got the number one pick, you're going to probably go McCaffrey. I don't see, unless you're the guy, like you said, that's going to take a Saquon.
If it's PPR, 100%.
Right.
I mean, if it's not, maybe you could look at some other guys. But
Right. So, I mean, I feel like he's a no-brainer. It's crazy to watch his ascension, too, because he was a guy that was, a lot of people were questioning. I would wish the Lions would have drafted him, but he was a dog in college. It's no surprise
should
that he's
have won
doing
that
that.
Heisman.
Should have. He's a problem.
Record.
He's been a hell of a player. His daddy was a hell of a player. We got his brother plays quarterback here, so come from a solid line of athleticism. But yeah, you got to go McCaffrey, in my opinion. If it's me, taking McCaffrey number one. PPR.
He's probably not going to get as many touches as last year.
No.
He's going to have an actual quarterback this year.
Yeah,
But he's still going to get. I mean, he's
still a main weapon. Him and DJ Moore.
I wouldn't be shocked if he put up another 1,000.
Yeah, easily. His skill set and what he can bring in his big play ability. I mean, he's pretty much a no-brainer. He's young, but obviously him. And then everything after that, man, I think like a lot of times it's just based kind of on perspective, and I think it immediately gets interesting right after that pick.
Yeah, because there's a couple guys you can justify number two.
Right.
Have a solid
Saquon, Ezekiel, Michael Thomas. I mean, a lot of people don't like reaching that early, but
going wide receiver though, I mean, you could.
You could if you want to go early. It all depends. I've always been a big fan of Michael. Feel like in that first round, you got to just kind of take who you want because you're just kind of there.
First wave of running backs are gone, then you got to really change it up.
Yep, absolutely.
You got Saquon, Zeke, maybe Kamara and Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, and I just heard that Kamara hasn't been practicing, so the trade rumors were going on.
Yeah, the Saints said they were open to trading him. I mean, we'll see. Keep an eye on it, but as of now, I wouldn't
wants to get paid.
Anything drastic. Yeah.
No, he wants to get paid.
They'll pay him.
Cook wants to get paid. I see Fournette just got cut too.
Yeah.
What do you think he's gonna do?
There's a couple spots.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally, if I were him, I'd want to go to a winning situation. Like, there's a lot of people saying Miami and Washington are looking at him. It's possible they can give him the money.
Yeah.
I personally think he might take a shorter deal for a little less money and go play somewhere like Tampa Bay or maybe.
That'd be a good spot. I didn't even think about Tampa Bay. Because they really don't. They have a running back, Ronald Jones and Peyton Barbers, but
Tampa Bay, the Steelers. I heard people were talking Chicago.
Yeah, I heard. I feel like it was. Oh, you said the Rams. I didn't think about the
Rams.
They got acres.
They don't have as much money, but
they got a ton of money lined up. But yeah, a lot of movement, like you said, to go back into it. So yeah, back into the first round though. I'm just looking as far as guys that I think would go. We pretty much tapped a lot of those guys, and then this is where it gets fun. Immediately, in my opinion, second round, you got to already be locked in. And you got to make some fucking moves that have to count, and it doesn't really matter where you're at. Whether you're at the end on the swing, you got to hit it. The front. I like to be personally in that sweet spot at like your 3 to 6 because it feels like I'm riding the group. I don't know if that's just
I don't like waiting, 8, 9.
Right. You know what I'm saying? I feel like maybe I'm just being superstitious or whatever, but I feel like you said, I don't like waiting so long in between.
Town's not as watered down on the back end.
So who are guys? All right. So you second round. Who are guys that you're looking at on here that you're going for?
I mean, there's a lot of tier 2 guys. You got that rookie in KC. Edwards Helaire. I mean, I think he's going to be great. I don't know if I'd be drafting him as high as he's going.
He's going to go high.
I mean,
say his name again, Clyde
Edwards Helaire.
So pay attention to that one. That's a
super
right
situation. Everybody knows their offense is explosive. I mean, he's going to have a wide open field to play with every down.
He was a dog at was it LSU? Yeah, it was LSU, man.
I don't really like Miles Sanders going this high.
I haven't. Real
He's
quick,
been-
there's been guys. I don't know if this is you too, but for me, I don't know what it is. There's just always guys that I lock into, and there's just guys that I don't know why I don't consider even drafting him. He's dope, but I just don't know why he's not ever been somebody on my radar. But she's somebody you check for, huh? Sanders?
Yeah, I mean, I would take him if he fell to me, but people
Right.
have him going as high as like 6'7".
Yeah,
And,
see,
I
I
mean,
don't-
Philly has always spread the ball around.
I don't
Nobody
see
ever
that
gets
either.
That kind of a. They still got options over there. I
And-
would look at somebody like Austin Eckler or Joe Mixon,
Right.
Josh Jacobs, Nick Chubb.
Yeah,
Those
Josh
kind of
Jacobs.
guys.
I was thinking that too. Joe Mixon just got a 4-year deal. All right, another thing I didn't think about, quarterbacks are right here in the mix. There's probably a couple of these guys I'll say too. Don't be surprised in your first round if a Lamar Jackson and a Patrick Mahomes go off the
Yeah.
board as well.
Somebody's going to get him. They're
Yeah.
going to be gone by the second round.
Yeah,
for
so
sure.
we'll just go ahead and just knock these guys out. I'm just
Yeah.
doing it as we're talking. So those guys are pretty much gone. Maybe a Michael Thomas would have been gone in that
Yeah,
first
Mike
round.
Thomas is probably
And now,
gone.
Here we go.
You're looking at, as far as tight ends, Kelsey and Kittle are probably going to go late second, early
Yeah.
third. If you want them, you got to take them there.
Yeah, that's another thing. I'm going to give y'all some free game, and I shouldn't, but I'll just say it. All right. The tight end is very undervalued in the football game because once the 5 guys we probably have, 6 if you're really finessing and knowing your stuff, once they're gone, that's it, man. And you gotta capitalize on them because they go at a premium real
That
quick.
those first 2, 3, 4 guys,
Yeah.
if you don't get one of them, there's a big drop off.
I see Mark
Big,
Andrews.
big drop off. Mark
It's
Andrews.
higher than
People
Ertz.
don't talk about.
He's
I mean,
super
he's
dope.
Lamar's favorite target, and they're
He's
going to throw
legit.
the ball more this year.
Yeah,
They are.
absolutely.
Like,
I like. He's a guy I need to start tapping into more.
yep.
See right there in the tight
He's
end
pretty
parts.
young, too.
I'm going after obviously Kelsey. I'll do Kittle, and then Zach Ertz has been a guy I've been
Right.
checking for. I feel like too guys that have been good to me. I try to go back to them, especially if they're still in that where they're playing at a higher level in their career still.
I mean, they're just so far ahead of the pack.
Yeah, Devontae Adams is a guy here.
Devontae,
D-Hop.
Devontae, D-Hop, and Julio, Tyreek, they're all going to go somewhere in this range.
Wow, you've got. I'm just looking at the list just based on PPR. Devontae is higher than Julio, but when we talking just pure football, most people are going to say, well, everybody's going to say Julio is better than Devontae. So it's just
Yeah,
weird
It depends on the system.
how it depends on the system. It's all these different things and intricacies you can play
Julio's a lot
in
more
the
boom or
football.
bust, too.
Huh?
Julio's a lot of boom and bust
Yeah.
a lot of the time, too.
It's
Devontae's somebody they'd probably put up there because he's going to be a little bit more consistent.
oh,
He-
absolutely. I
His
agree.
big games aren't going to be big games like Julio puts
Yeah.
up, but his small games are going to be better. Than
What's
Julio.
crazy is Julio put up these astronomical numbers, 3-4 catches, 150 yards, and there's just
Yeah.
no touchdowns. Because Matt Ryan, for
Yeah.
whatever reason, he just started getting the ball again
Last
recently.
year he got a couple.
Yeah, but
He
the
was
year
5, 6,
before, he didn't really do shit, if
7.
you
No,
remember.
he got like one.
It's kind of odd, right? Yeah, so a lot of these guys, we're in the second, third round, obviously. A lot of these guys are coming off the board right there. Julio might be gone.
Yeah.
Maybe Tyreek is probably second round. It's just funny. What I love too is a lot of it is what your output was the year before and going into the next year. It's funny how guys can shift. One that like I knew it was only a matter of time before McCaffrey would probably end up a number 1 pick. I just seen that coming after coming probably year one, year two. It's like
justified it last year.
Yeah,
and this
absolutely.
Year it's a no-brainer.
he was a guy that I took number 1. I mean, Saquon was somebody I took in my league, but yeah, McCaffrey is super tough. But yeah, so we back third, fourth round. A lot of this, like I said, is really where you're trying to finesse and just figuring out getting talent and really starting to build your guys that you
Shooting
probably
for, like, high floor guys and
Yep.
they're going to be consistent. They might not be your number 1 guys,
Yep.
but you can play in
Yep.
a pinch.
These are the guys that for me are your Cooper Cups are coming off the board right here. Your Chris Godwins, your Mike Evans. Honestly, another one that's going to probably should go higher, and he hasn't because y'all in a coma about my man. Let me be clear. Kenny Galladay. A lot of people are really understanding that he's truly a top 3, top 5 receiver based statistically, but because he plays in fucking Detroit, he led the league in touchdowns, and he only had Matt Stafford for 8 games. So let's just kind of put that in perspective of what he really could have done with Stafford. He's a problem.
Big problem.
Been telling y'all about Galladay,
He's fast and goes over people.
and he catches with his hands. And I've been telling y'all since I've been fucking with this YouTube shit for years, watch out for Galladay. And it's funny that we're looking at 8. I feel like that's it's crazy that he's this low, but it's so much talent out there that it's like, damn, that's crazy that he's down there. I mean, I feel like he's higher than me than Chris Godwin would be, but Chris Godwin had a hell of a year, man.
Right. Somebody I'm honestly really looking at around here is DJ Moore.
Yes.
Like, if he's still floating around out there, I'd snag him.
He's
for
right
sure,
there,
somewhere
too.
late third, early fourth.
He had a really good season last year.
Because if you look at the way the Saints played with Teddy last year, I mean, it was pretty straightforward. You either handed the ball to Kamara, you threw a screen to Kamara, or you threw it to Mike Thomas.
Absolutely.
I mean, DJ Moore is no Mike Thomas, but he's going to play that role.
Yeah.
He's their guy. And it's going to be the same thing with McCaffrey and DJ Moore. I mean, you're going to give it to McCaffrey, or you're going to
And they both got big
Moore.
playability.
Like, yeah.
Moore will take that bad boy. I've seen a couple of them.
Mhm.
50, 60-yard touchdowns.
He had a
last
solid season with
Yeah,
Kyle
yeah.
Allen.
year.
Bridgewater's a big upgrade over
Yeah.
Kyle
If
Allen,
they can
for
develop
sure.
the rapport and Bridgewater can stay healthy. That's crazy because Bridgewater has, I won't say he fell off, but, it became an afterthought, and it was only because of an injury. It wasn't.
Out when he got his chance.
Yeah, that was it. He was
5-0.
he was a problem at Minnesota before he hurt his knee.
Yeah,
So,
he was going to be their guy for the next 10, 12 years.
absolutely. So it's congrats to him, man, and hopefully all that stuff is behind him because he had a rough go.
As a sleeper too. He's not getting drafted in a lot of leagues. He's a guy you can gamble on with one of your last couple picks.
Absolutely.
And then sit on him, see if he pans out.
Yep,
and
absolutely.
He doesn't. I mean, he took him so late it's not going to hurt your team.
Agreed. It's funny now. I'm looking. So we're third, fourth, fifth round right here. Fourth, fifth, really. Dalvin Cook may have come off the board. He still is on the board.
Probably coming in the second round.
You think so? Yep. I forgot about Dalvin.
Yeah, probably
that's
go
true.
with like Kamara, Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. And if you look at what I'm making the point of, as you're looking at these ratings, it's like, damn, there's guys that are way down here.
That are going to be
That
back.
Derrick Henry is probably going to go a lot higher, but based on the rating, he was 6 or 7 on this. And this we're looking at the ESPN fantasy board or whatever you want to call it, man. So still more of the same. You're really trying to reinforce. A lot of guys probably are starting to think quarterback when you start getting to the 4th, 5th round. I mean, after you pick Mahomes and Lamar. Deshaun, maybe Watson is there. You're probably looking at your Kyler Murrays, maybe your Russell Wilsons right here.
Dak
is another one.
Feel about him.
Yeah,
he's going to put up big numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't like him, but
I don't. He's not a guy I picked either. But he had a solid season last year too. He's having a tough time.
He's going to put up 4,000 yards. No problem. His offense is stacked.
He's a guy that's just kind of.
But he does have a new system, so
yeah, McCarthy.
I don't like messing with guys with new systems unless I can.
So he must have a new court, because McCarthy came in there. That was a sneaky move at coach. I like him. He kind of was buried for a little bit, kind of like, oh shit, I forgot he was out there, because no one really talking about him. But yeah, man. So now, like I said, 5th round, 6th round, you're looking at your quarterbacks. Maybe you want to get some more wide receivers. You start filling these gaps. You want to start probably getting close to rounding your starting lineup up. Unless there's somebody that's there that's like, fuck it, I just got to put him on the bench. I picked 3 receivers, but they left him out here. Got to grab him. Another guy that's going to be a really good pick that people are forgetting about, Devontae Parker. He had a phenomenal year. He's somewhere down in that 3rd, 4th. Mm-hmm. He's going to go a lot lower, but if you look at his numbers, he had fantastic output last year.
I mean, Miami's going to be better, but they're still going to be playing behind more games than not.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's going to be targets to go around.
And if Fitzpatrick is still out there, he's going to be airing the ball out. And he had a ton of points for me when I picked him up.
They'll give it to Tua eventually.
Yeah.
But it's going to be Fitzmagic to start for sure.
Absolutely. And Devontae was a guy, I remember grabbing him off the waiver wire. I want to say like week 10, 9 or 10.
Consistent. Get you 15 points every week.
So, here you're still, your Adam Thielens are off the board here. Allen Robinson's. Juju's got to have a bounce back year, but he's probably coming off the board. A lot of that's contingent on what happens with Ben Roethlisberger. Nick Chubb is a guy that's already probably gone. We already said Jacobs. Mixon is gone.
You're probably going to run into like Le'Veon Bell, Jonathan Taylor.
Austin Eckler, somewhere around there, maybe a little bit earlier, because now he's the number 1 out there with the Chargers.
Austin Eckler, will probably be going fairly early.
What do you think about Kenyon Drake? Would have been gone. He had a really solid year going over to Arizona.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is gone. Ty Gurley, what do you think about? Where's he going at this point?
I've seen him go late 2nd, early 3rd. I mean, I wouldn't probably get him unless he fell to the 4th, just because I'm scared. I mean,
that knee.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
When
you see him going that high.
I mean, pretty consistently.
Wow.
When he plays, he's gonna put up numbers for you, but I don't know if you can count on him every week.
No,
he was healthy most of last year though.
Right. I mean, he was a guy. I think I picked him up
But he's on a
in
new
quite
team
a few
too.
rounds and shit. And
Atlanta's still got an explosive offense. There will be goal line touches to go around.
Yeah, so like you said, here it's crazy now. You're looking at your Le'Veons and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He was a guy that was arguably he was a top 20 pick
a couple years ago.
They
Took him number one.
Yeah, he was a dog, and now he's in a fucking poor situation with the Jets, in my opinion.
No, he's in Atlanta.
He's in Atlanta?
Yeah,
No, talking about Le'Veon Bell.
Le'Veon, sorry.
Oh yeah, Gurley's in Atlanta. Yeah.
Le'Veon is in a tough spot. His offensive line got a little better, but Adam Gates' system's not working.
Adam Gates has just been garbage everywhere he's been as a head coach. I mean, he's decent as a coordinator, but I don't
somewhere
know.
around here, I'd probably look at like Ronald Jones.
Okay.
Be out there.
Right.
You know, as of right now, he's the number one guy in a good offense. He's going to get touches. He's
Yep.
going to have an open field. Melvin Gordon, if he's still floating around there.
Denver, they're going to run the ball. Philip Lindsay.
You're looking at Mark Ingram is going to have another solid season. J.K. Dobbins might get some work eventually, but until he proves it, he's still going to be Mark Ingram's early down.
He's going to get some run though, absolutely. He's going to get some run, but yeah, it's still about Mark Ingram. He's a guy that I slept on him last year, and my co-host was big on picking Mark Ingram, and I didn't listen. It was a poor decision because he had a really solid season last year. So good call to my homie for calling that one out. But yeah, he's going to be the main guy. But Dobbins is going to be coming in eventually. We already see that happening.
Honestly, I hate to say it. One of the things I really don't know anything about is our situation in Detroit with Kerryon and DeAndre Swift. They're both going around here, but I don't know.
What I'm hearing is they've got little knick-knack injuries right now.
Yeah.
Swift has got something going on, Kerryon. But, I like Kerryon. I like the idea of him, but his injuries have always been a concern. So
I'm just curious what you think, like how it's going to shake out touch-wise.
Oh, well, I feel like I'm super ecstatic that DeAndre
Swift is going to be
I was super geeked because I said that
on him off the get. Or?
Oh, yeah. I don't think we're going to waste any time, and we need to put him right in. We actually had a pod, and we were talking about it, and I was like, yo, we got to get DeAndre Swift. So I'm not overly critical, but I'm beyond like disappointed with these guys. So it's like to see him actually get somebody I wanted. I couldn't believe that Bob Quinn.
I actually really liked your whole draft this year.
Yeah, I didn't. A lot of those guys in the back end I didn't know, but the top four with Okudah and Swift and Julian. I forget Okwara. I can't pronounce it. And then Gabe Jackson. Yeah, I like that. I like the idea of Okudah, but I just don't like that we got rid of Slay. I've been raising hell on this too about that we played that whole situation fucked up. Because now think about it like this. On a switch side note, now you got Trufant. Hopefully he can play all 16 games. He's only played 7 last year. And now you're gonna put the youngin against D-Hop.
Yep.
These are guys who are playing this year.
D-Hop, the first few games of the season.
Fuck the whole NFC North. I mean, you got Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas week 2. You got Allen in week 1, AR-15. I mean, not AR-12 they call him now, but AR-15, Allen Robinson. And, you got to deal with Devontae. It's just a ton of guys out there every single week. And Darius was one of the few that could literally stay with the one all game long. So I feel like that is going to have irreversible damage this year and really compromise what little playoff chance we had. But that's a whole nother tangent.
We'll see
but I feel like Swift is already gone at this point, man. He's a guy that people are gonna play, but he's gonna be probably the number one. That's what they drafted him to be. So he's a guy that you can put him at least on your bench. Feel like he's coming off at some point. Like you said, Mark Ingram is gone. Philip Lindsay might be somebody right here. I see Jordan Howard ended up going down to Miami. He'll get some run down there. If you need a running back,
they got Jordan Howard and Matt Breida this year.
Beretta. I see what's his name, Modster from San Francisco, Raheem.
Yep.
He'll probably be a pick somewhere in this area.
Tevin Coleman is going to be around here too.
Devin Singletary could be somewhere here because there's going to be tons of guys coming off. You know what's funny, man? I'm looking down here still, and guys that because this list is so long of talent, Odell Beckham is way down a lot farther. AJ Brown are going to be guys that are already off the board.
Marquise Brown would be somebody I look at around
Cooper
here.
Kupp, Terry McLaurin.
Julian Edelman is still going late.
Yeah.
Like he's not the number one guy.
I'm gonna tell you a guy. Probably 5th, 6th round that people should be keen on. I think he's gonna have a really solid year. Watch out for DJ Chark, man. He was
Yep.
a problem last year. Chark Jr.
Especially now that they're giving away everybody else on that team.
Yeah, he's the main guy. Him
He's the
and
only
Didi.
guy.
Well, they got Didi, and Didi can't stay healthy. But Didi's been a guy I've been keeping on the radar for quite some time. But like I said, I'm liking McLaurin, man. I think he's going to be super dope. He was solid last year as a rookie. Tyler Boyd is probably right here.
This is where I'm probably starting to look at some of those rookies too.
Mhm,
A little bit
yep.
after this.
Now, who are guys on the top, off the top of the head that you said already? Clyde is already gone.
Clyde's gone. Jonathan Taylor's
Jonathan
probably
Taylor.
gone.
Yep.
Right now, you're probably looking more at rookie receivers.
Yep.
A guy people aren't talking about is Jerry Judy.
Jerry Judy,
He's gonna have a
yes.
solid year over in
Yes.
Denver.
He'll be the he'll have the
He
potential to be
complements
number
really
one
well
with
with
Sutton. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. So that's going to be solid. And
Henry Ruggs.
Henry Ruggs.
Maybe not right
Yeah.
maybe a little later on him, but
But
he's
he's-
clear-cut
they-
number one guy.
they
in
want him to
Vegas
be.
either.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's seeing guys like Zach Moss pop up as far as a
Yeah.
rookie that I was looking at. Raquel Armstead is another one. Now that Fournette is out the way,
Yeah.
he's looking like the sure number one right now.
It's his show.
It's definitely his show. Yeah, it's there's a ton of them that are there, but AJ Dillon's a guy. He's not going this high, but he's a guy that's going to be on people's radar as the running back with Green Bay.
Yep.
Yeah, but so now we're probably about 7th, 8th round, what I'm guessing. So now you in most leagues you got what 12 rounds? I don't even know how many rounds.
14.
It's been 14. It seems like So you're getting to the halfway point. You should have your roster pretty much filled out.
Yep.
This is where guys can really start. Depending on how you feel about it and if it's a team you want to target. Now this is when people start really tapping into defenses and whatnot, when you start dealing with the rounds 8 and 9. I've seen guys even go earlier than that personally. I wouldn't go that early, but if I have a lot of the talent, and like you said, when we start...
the roster is set and you think that there's some guys that are going to be there a little later that you are...
Exactly my point.
Like
Like,
sleepers. I mean, there's a couple defenses this year. I'm only reaching for maybe one or two of them.
okay.
The
Right.
Niners and Steelers, maybe the Ravens or the Vikings got Ngakoue now. They're going to be
Yeah, they should have
something.
picked them up
They're
in the
stacked
trade.
at all three levels.
Yeah, they
But
are.
I think they're also a team that's going to be there a little later on.
Now,
We don't need to grab them.
what do you think about Tennessee? You think they're going to have a repeat from last year? Because they were actually super sneaky, really good defense.
Tennessee is going to be good. I don't know if they'll be just as good, but it's going to be pretty damn close. One
What
way or
about-
another, I mean,
My man Keith, matter of fact, he picked New England last year. He's busting our asses last year.
we win every year. I mean, they're top 5 in defense at the end of every single season.
Right.
I mean, whether they're expected to be or not, they are. I mean,
Yeah, so,
it'll stop eventually, but until it does, I can't bet against them.
well, what's funny is, too, yeah, you can't bet against them, but a lot of this stuff, like we said, it's all circumstantial. I wouldn't necessarily pick a defense this early, but there's going to be individuals that are going to do the radical things, and now it shifts everything. So guys
They
start
can make a
picking,
difference.
They can make a
You just
difference.
got to make sure the rest of your roster's
right?
turned out well. If
Yep.
you got a couple weak spots, you got to fill those.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, at that point, once you start getting around 9, 10, 11, this is where you start thinking about your real sleeper guys,
Yeah.
guys that can really bring some value to your team, guys that you start thinking of like those circumstances. Do they have the chance to possibly be running back by committee, or a guy that if somebody gets hurt, he'll probably get a little bit of run.
That's where J.K. Dobbins fills that role really
Mhm.
good. I mean, he's
Yep.
one player away from being an every down back.
Yep.
And he might still end up there. He'll end up in a split backfield at least at the end of the season. I
Yep.
mean, you want to
Absolutely.
get guys, high floor guys. Anyone that's left that's got a high floor. Marvin Jones in Detroit.
Yep. I was
He's a
going
good
to say
guy
him.
around
That's a good
here.
one.
Every year he puts up 800-900 yards.
Should he
it's
have,
not
9?
pretty, but he does it.
He had 9 touchdowns last year because he had 4 in one game. He
That
just
was
didn't.
without Stafford.
That was without Stafford. So we had a phenomenal receiving core.
Yep.
I'm gonna give you another sneaky one right here. This is a free gem for y'all. You're welcome.
Mhm.
A guy that I think is gonna have a really solid year. He really looked like he was gonna try to elevate his game, moving forward. Darius Slayton out there with
Yeah.
the New York Giants, man. He was a rookie last year. If you're paying
another year
attention,
in the system,
he had-
was
Danny Jones is
He's
going to be a good
explosive.
quarterback. He was a
He
guy I
was
thought was a
solid
reach.
last year. If he had
Yeah.
a little bit of better team around him, they might have had a winning record.
He's got a little bit of a cannon, and he can put that ball right in the
I
breadbasket.
mean, they got Saquon.
They got Saquon.
Win games
If-
by himself.
if
If
Shepard-
the team around him is better, they're going to be.
They're going to be all right, man. I feel like they picked up somebody else, and then you got Sterling Shepard, who's a dog. You just
Golden
worry
Tate's
about
still
the
out there.
Yep, you just worry about the injuries. But yeah, I'm just looking around, man. You'll start seeing guys. There's a couple of the other tight ends that I think are going to be pretty good that will be either above or around this time. Noah Fant is a
Yeah.
guy that I feel like he might end up being better than Hodgson, which would make me sick. But he's just got a lot of big playability,
Yeah.
and he started to really turn around with Drew Lock at the end of the season.
Gronk is probably going to go somewhere around here.
Gronk is a
if
guy,
you get
man.
Gronk, you get a backup.
Man,
But-
absolutely. Gronk is my second or third tight end.
If he stays healthy and plays close to what he's capable of, he could win you the league.
Yep.
This late in the draft, all day.
I mean, he's lost a lot of weight, but he looks like he's in phenomenal shape. He's
He's
healed.
had time off to
He's
get
had-
better.
to
I mean,
get
he's
right.
still not that old. He's what,
No.
32?
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, maybe
He's
not
not
even
old.
31. Yeah, he's probably
beat
about that
up,
age.
but this will be the best shape he's been
But
in a long time.
He's been off for about almost 2 years. So yeah,
He's
man,
ready
Gronk
to
will be.
get back up.
Yep, absolutely. Start looking at it's unfortunate. I'll give you another one. Emmanuel Sanders will be a guy that'll come off. Justin Jefferson, I like the rookie out of Minnesota. I think he's going to be solid. CeeDee Lamb should get some serious clock out
I
there.
might think about AP if he's still
AP,
sitting there,
that's
too.
another
I
one.
mean, that backfield isn't decided.
Yes,
As of right now, he's probably still the number one guy.
exactly. And that was another one. I was thinking that he's a guy who would be picking lower, but because of your circumstances now, you would be in 11 and 12. Yeah, you're probably going to go AP, right? So that's
there's
another
not going to
one.
be any number one guys left at this point.
Yep,
He's a maybe.
he had a really good year, especially for his age and
He put up
the
1,000
talent.
yards last year.
Yeah,
Somehow.
see, it's crazy. It's incredible. I mean, AP is just considering the injuries that he's had and some of his ability to bounce back. Yeah, he's had a phenomenal career.
Mhm.
Yeah, man, this is like I said. This is when you start really. You got to really be savvy. These are the ones that count, man, because you can find some real diamonds in the rough that can totally change your whole setup for your team. You'll be having guys. I'll give you an example. A couple years ago, when I won one of my championships, I picked Alvin Kamara his rookie year in like the 15th round, and
that wouldn't do league.
man, and what's crazy is because of at that time it was Mark Ingram and AP. I had got another injury and I got rid of Kamara, and he turned it on like 4 or 5 weeks later. But I would have we're picking Alvin Kamara in the 16th round. So
Yeah.
these are there's some of these rookies, man, that are or second year guys that are gonna take their next step and can totally change up your whole thing, man. And you can literally ride the wave with these guys, and like you said, it'll take you right to a championship, man. I've done it plenty of times. So
Justin Jackson's a guy too.
yeah,
I mean, Austin Eckler, he himself has said he only expects about half the touches.
Yeah.
I mean,
and they're different runners, so I feel like they'll complement each other. Yeah, he's a
they'll
guy.
both get theirs, and I think Justin Jackson has potential to take over that back.
Yeah,
I love
absolutely.
Austin Eckler. He's going to get catches all day, but if Justin Jackson can prove that he can run down the middle, they're going to give him that rock.
It's funny. I don't know if I told you. I'm in this super mega fantasy league with like 60 guys. It's a whole crazy setup. But I picked Justin Jackson. It's a dynasty setup. Yeah, he's only like a second year guy, and he's going to get a lot of the touches out there. So that's another
He's
one,
their
man.
guy of the future.
Yeah, right there. So you're looking at round 13, 14, maybe 12. You should be looking at a Justin Jackson, a guy that will be a number 2, and depending on if anything happens to Eckler or how they scheme, could end up being your number 1 later on in the year. Because that's what happens a lot of times. It's not always about just drafting a guy for immediate impact. These guys might play a role in your team.
Bench players.
Bench players, week 6, 7, that are like, damn, these are guys I need to actually play more now moving forward than some of the guys I picked up, man, because injuries or just guys don't have the same production. So, yeah, we start getting around 13, 14. Like I said, we're getting into your savvy picks, maybe your veterans like Fitzgerald's, just when you're really supposed to pick your kickers. And obviously, you guys know who those are, your Tuckers and
Butker,
Lutz, Greg's the legs. He left. He went to Dallas. Nope. Yeah, I just seen
Which
that.
is still going to be good.
Yep.
He's going to have a ton of opportunities to put up points.
There it is. Absolutely, man. So, that really, man, for us just kind of winging it, man, hopefully you got some real gems out of there. But that, if you really want to be successful, that's kind of the way you got to play this. Like he said, watch these tiers. Don't overvalue somebody. Just kind of watch how the board is and best of luck to you. But like I said, we're going to get this shit off the ground. I think I'm going to try to set up a little comment. So, man, if it's something y'all want advice on or a topic on, we can discuss it moving forward and get some shit rolling, man. So, but man, I appreciate you stopping by, fam.
For sure.
You know,
Appreciate
good to
you
see
having
you.
me.
And you know, we'll be back, and he'll probably get back on again because I'll be taking the title out of his. I'll be winning it over in his league again one more time. You know,
Coming home where it belongs.
I won the inaugural season, so it's only fitting to repeat. And he's in my league. He's not gonna do shit. But my man, I'm just all jokes. But yeah,
You ain't taking AB. No more AB.
but real shit. Good luck to you, and you know the strategy. And we're trying to win some of these games, and hopefully much success to you. We're gonna make it happen. And yeah, you gotta come back again, my dude.
Hey, stream when we play.
That sounds good, man. But hey, I appreciate y'all tuning in. My man, I appreciate you stopping by. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Man, I'll see y'all soon. Y'all take it easy.